attack. This is invincibill11 here, and in this video I'm going to cover over some raiding techniques, at least the techniques that I've been using currently to get my raid post-September updates. A lot of people have been complaining that there isn't that much loot out there, or they have problems trying to find the loot or get the loot. So hopefully you guys can learn a couple techniques, at least from what I've learned that has worked. Now this is a strategy I've kind of used and tailored a little bit differently for Town Hall 8 and Town Hall 9, and I'll kind of go over the composition and different techniques for that as well. Just as a follow-up from our last video, I'll just show you quickly the raid that I did against that one clan that I said we would probably have a shutout with. Unfortunately, they did get 3 stars from one of their attackers, so it wasn't a complete shutout. And here you can see we beat them 27-3. And I'll just go into my first attack that I had mentioned I was going to do. So for my strategy here, it was my giant strategy just to come in, and basically what I wanted to do was break the wall, get inside, and number one thing was to destroy those infernos, because I know that it negates the healing spell for anything that's on top of it, and that was my main concern. So I just have a bunch of troops just coming through. You'll see some wizards start going off to the left, and the archer queen goes with them, which I think kind of is my downfall a little bit for this one, at least for why I don't get a little bit higher of a percentage here. You'll see that the giants are now through about taking out that first inferno's down. Second one is starting to go down. It's actually going to take out the rest of these troops here, and the queen's going to end up cleaning that up. But she doesn't have enough health to maintain the rest of the defenses that are on here. Still have one heal spell left, which I saved just for the queen because I figure she's my most DPS at this point. I got a little pack of troops down at the bottom working their way around, but that Tesla's just going to take them out. And this is just going to end on a lower end of the percentage here, so I'll run this clock out. So it wasn't as successful as what I had thought it was going to be, with him having no clan castle troops and essentially, really weird base layout. So that's what I ended up doing for that attack. But that's not what this video is going to be about. So post the September updates with the lava hounds and also being able to upgrade your walls using elixir and gold, a lot of people have been complaining that essentially the gold and elixir storages have been empty as par mine, since level 9 walls are quite pricey and I've been farming them. Now just to go through my log here just to show a little bit of the raiding strategy, I've been mostly going for DE recently. So you'll see either it's a Town Hall snipe or there might just be some targets that I want specifically for DE, but you'll see for the most part my army composition doesn't change much except for whatever I had in the clan castle, and you can see the different amounts of loot that I had gotten. For certain ones I just went for DE, didn't really care about the trophies. I don't necessarily care about trophies too much for certain raids as well, so that's why I also get some snipes in between to kind of maintain a trophy range, which I guess will kind of be my first point. So depending on what your Town Hall level is, you'll always find a decent trophy range. I'm going to say within a 300 or so trophy range bandwidth to try and stay in. Now, the idea here with being a Town Hall 9 and staying in Crystal 3, basically you'll see a lot of folks that play the game had upgraded all of their gold mines and elixir pumps, for Town Hall 8, and then basically stop playing. And when you stop playing at a Town Hall 8, depending on what your base design looks like, it's going to keep you in that gold 1, the crystal 3 range, so you're going to become more available as far as if you're searching for loot raids that just have the collectors full, which is primarily what I end up going for, only because I use a massive amount of troops. Just to clean up the outsides. Now I don't use BAM, so I'm not strictly limited to that, which is nice because this army composition allows you to be more flexible, and if they do have storages that are full and the base design is actually pretty terrible, then you can pretty much just walk through their base regardless. So that's why I go with this composition right here. So this is around my same army composition that I'll typically use when I go out to just keep raiding throughout the day. Usually what I'll use is 12 giants, 8 wall breakers, and then I believe it's 72 archers and 72 barbs. And that's what my army composition is primarily going to be. So if we go back through here, let's just see. Yeah. So my primary army composition is this one you'll see against Sarah Meal, where I just have 12 giants, 8 wall breakers, 72 archers, and 72 barbs. Which brings me to my next point, which I wanted to hit on, was the priming of the barracks. So it's very important if you're going to go out raiding all day that that you keep something primed in your barracks. You'll see these 3 barracks down on the left-hand side. Right now, I currently have one that's unavailable. Have the little exclamation points above them. Basically, what that means is you have a troop that's ready to go. So right now, if I were to use up 4 troops, I would get 1 wizard that would just sub out for them, which is very helpful because that essentially saves you 8 minutes if you've been away for 8 minutes. I've been on my shield all night and I've been donating wizards out to my clan members. So I just prime wizards to have them ready if I'm going to be an extended period of time. And then when I go to start raiding, I'll just leave the 1 wizard there. Since I only have 3 barracks open right now, I'll prime 4 giants and 3 wall breakers and 1. And then I'll split up the archers and barbs. Now if you use 2 fingers, it'll time them up as well. And it should do 22, 23, and then it should be about the same for this one, as long as I only have 1 wizard in there. And make sure I do the opposite. And then on our last one, we'll do the same thing. So we'll do 16 and 16. So you'll notice if you do add up the math there that I'm still missing a few troops that I'll have to add on that last barracks. And that's only because I don't have the 220 capacity that I would need for all 3 barracks here. When I go to split it up amongst the 4 barracks, it's just going to be 3 barbs, or I'm sorry, it's just going to be 3 giants, 2 wall breakers, and then 18 archers and 18 wizards in each barracks. It's about, I believe, a 24-minute army. But if you're depending on how long you're searching, again, that first prime giant cuts off 2 minutes, so it's only a 22-minute army that you actually end up making. I believe BAM is somewhere in the vicinity of 20 minutes to 18 minutes. So really, you're just going to save, about 4 minutes to 6 minutes or so between raids. But that 4 to 6 minutes can also save you a lot of time when you're going to search for actual raids. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to jump through, and with the army composition I have, I'm just going to show you, how to use it for just a normal raid. I'm going to speed this up if I need to, which I won't. So we got 177 and 212 here. You'll see that most of the storages look like they are pretty full. Now what I'll do on this first kind of look around with the 30 seconds they give you is figure out how I want to go about this. Because I see up here, up top I have more gold. That bottom one looks a little pretty full. These 2 are on the outside along with wizards and the mortar, which means it's going to blow up a lot of troops in there. I have 1 down here. And so the nice thing about the army composition is I can break this up into like 4 little packs. So we'll do 4 giants, if I can do 4, 2 wall breakers, and then we'll just sprinkle in some barbs and sprinkle in some archers. Now I do use 3 fingers when I go to place my troops. It just really helps for when you're putting things around the outsides. So let's go down south. Put him in there. Now what I'll also do is I'll save my king and queen for where I need them to actually go in and loot for me. So it looks like I'm probably going to use my queen in this bottom right and my king on the left hand side here. Put another barb down, and once the king starts getting picked off by that cannon, that's when I'll boost him up just to make sure I get that elixir. And the queen cleared all of that. Just let the little guys get in the middle. King doesn't take too long for me to regenerate, and I'll also save my clan castle troops since I don't really have to use them in this raid. So as you'll see here, Queen's going to take out the cannon. I'll let my troops take out the elixir collector. And I'm also going to get an expo for that. Let's see if we can bump the queen up to get through these walls real quick. So I still have a bunch of troops at the bottom, but they're going to take it out with that mortar. Wouldn't mind having the extra Inferno Tower for my achievements. Let's see what happens here. Mortar's going to take out those archers. See if the queen goes for the cannon. Nope, she's going to go for the mortar. And so I'm going to let her do it. I'll get the Inferno Tower, I don't mind. So as you can see, even with that composition, I mean, this wasn't an active base, which is kind of what I want to go for primarily. But you'll see that the army composition was able to break up in 4 little groups and basically just destroy everything. Once she gets that last E, then I'm going to end up ending this battle. So I'll just hit end, and I'll wait until I see that percentage bump, and hit OK. So, all in all, that actually was a pretty successful raid off of just finding it on the first go. You'll see what I ended up using there. The 14 giants, 60 archers, 60 barbs, 8 wall breakers. I think the total amount of elixir so for that army is in the vicinity of 90 to 100,000 elixir. So we definitely profited pretty good just off that, and it was only 1 search, so it only cost us that 750. So, and when we go home, you'll see that I already have 3 giants and 3 wizards already made, and if I go through just to stack up the rest of my troops, it's only going to take me another 27 minutes or so for this army, but that's because I have 3 barracks. I don't have that 4th barracks. And just to add on to that point as well, the one thing that a lot of people will realize, or maybe not realize that well, if I were to gem this barracks out for that 5 days and 2 hours that's left on it, would cost me 768 gems. Just as a gem saver for anyone out there that is planning on raiding throughout those 5 days that you're waiting, what you can also do is you can boost one of your barracks and it only costs you 10 gems. And for 2 hours, it's going to allow you to do 4 times the production. So in theory, if you were to gem boost that for 10 gems, it's almost like you have 6 barracks now working at the same time for 10 gems for 2 hours. So we'll say if on average you raid 8 hours a day, which is on the high end for most folks. So if you raid 8 hours a day, it's going to cost you 40 gems to boost that barracks, and you're actually going to be raiding quicker as compared to the 768 gems on this barracks. So if it's the 40 gems per day, we'll say for 6 days, it's 240 gems. You're going to be saving yourself in the vicinity of 600 gems by just boosting a barracks instead of gemming out your 4th barracks. So this is just to help you guys save gems if you do decide to, gem out your barracks because you can't wait to just keep raiding. Boost your barracks instead of gemming out your barracks, because in the long run you're going to have quicker raids and you're actually going to save yourself quite a few gems. So that's just a main point that I want to hit on. What I'll do, I guess for the next video, is I'll try and see what kind of comments, if anybody posts any for this video that you guys want to see. I can go through and just do more raids with the same army composition, or just post a compilation of raids maybe between now and next Monday using the same army composition for both successful raids and failure raids, because it does happen on the occasion. Basically, how to kind of stay in the same cup range that I'm at. You'll see that throughout all my videos. Again, if you have any comments, please leave them down below. If you like this video and you like where the channel's going, please do leave a like and subscribe. If there's any kind of information you'd like me to go into a little bit more, anything specific regarding clan wars or attack strategies, if you guys want me to use a different kind of army composition for raiding, just to kind of see how successful that can end up being, that sounds good. Again, and my last kind of little tip that I can give you guys for when you're going out to actually raid somebody: be patient. That next button, can be your friend or it can be your enemy. I've had days where sometimes it would cost you 200,000 gold just to find a loot raid that might break even on gold and give you a little bit of elixir. So you can have those days, or you can have days where every single time you hit the next button, you just find 300,000 of each, or even more, and 3K plus dark elixir. So it really just depends. Be patient when you go out and raiding, and clash on. So I'll see you guys later.